Good morning, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Daily Grace and Blessings. This is your Monday, April 27th. And before this day takes one more second of your attention, before the notifications pull you back into the noise, before your mind starts calculating everything you haven't figured out yet, I need you to pause right here, right now, with me. Just stop for a moment. I know that might feel impossible. I know the list is already forming in your head. I know there are emails you haven't answered, decisions you've been postponing, and a week that is already demanding things from you before it has even truly begun. I know that feeling, that weight that shows up on Monday morning before your feet even hit the floor, and most of the time, we just push through it. We grab the coffee, we open the phone, we let the rush of the week pull us forward like a current we never agreed to swim in. But what if this Monday was different? Not because your schedule is lighter, not because the pressure has suddenly disappeared, but because before you walked into any of it, you stopped here first and you let something shift in the deepest part of you. Here is what I want to say to you, honestly, in the first breath of this morning. The thing that makes Monday mornings heavy is not just the workload. It is not just the exhaustion that the weekend couldn't quite fix. There is something quieter underneath all of that. A question that doesn't always have words. A low, persistent feeling that you might be working hard, pushing forward, staying busy, and still not moving in the right direction. Not the direction you chose, the direction that was chosen for you before you were born by the one who knows every step of this week already. And maybe that is what brought you here this morning. Not just the need to calm down, but the deeper need to know, am I aligned? Am I walking in step with something greater than my own plan? Are my steps ordered, or am I just moving fast and hoping for the best? Those are not small questions, and they deserve more than a rushed answer. Today, at Daily Grace and Blessings, we are not praying to just survive another Monday. We are praying something bigger than that. We are praying to align our steps with God's plan. We are standing in expectation for favor we did not earn, could not manufacture, and did not see coming. Unexpected favor. The kind that changes the trajectory of a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a whole season of your life. So take one slow breath with me right now. Let your shoulders drop. Stop holding your jaw tight. This space is safe. And the next 45 minutes belong entirely to you and the God who has been waiting all night to speak into this exact moment of your life. You're not too late. You're right on time. Before we go any further, I want to sit with you in something for just a moment, because I don't think it is an accident that you are here. Think about the morning you just had. Think about every direction your attention could have gone in the last 10 minutes, every notification, every voice, every task calling your name. And out of all of that noise, you found this quiet space. You chose this. Or maybe it felt less like a choice and more like something pulled you here, like a hand on your shoulder turning you gently in one direction when everything else was pulling you somewhere else entirely. I believe that was not random. I believe that on the morning of April 27th, God had something specific for you, not a general blessing floating in the atmosphere. Something intentional, something precise. And the fact that you are sitting here, breathing slowly, opening your heart before the week takes over, that is already the first step of a day that has been ordered for you. I want to tell you something I learned in one of the hardest seasons of my own life. I had everything planned. I am talking about a week where the calendar was full, the goals were clear, the strategy was solid. I sat down on a Monday morning, opened my notebook, looked at everything I had laid out, and felt something I was not expecting to feel. I felt unsettled, not anxious exactly, not afraid, just off, like I was about to run a race in the wrong direction, like I had built a beautiful machine pointed at the wrong destination. And I remember sitting there frustrated with myself because everything looked right on paper, but I had not once asked, "Lord, is this what you want for this week?" I had not once held my own plan open-handed before him. I had built the whole thing in my own logic, prayed a general prayer of blessing over it, and then assumed those were the same thing. They were not. And it took a conversation I did not plan with a person I had not expected on a Wednesday I thought was going to be completely ordinary, for God to show me he had an entirely different and better direction in mind. One I had been too focused on my own plan to see. That is the thing about aligning your steps with God's plan. It requires something that feels uncomfortable at first. It requires loosening your grip on the version of the week you have already written in your mind. It requires walking in with open hands instead of a full agenda. And that is what I am inviting you into right now, at the very start of this Monday. Not passivity, not giving up on your goals, not throwing your planner in the trash, but something much more powerful than any of that. A posture of surrender that says, I have thoughts about this week, Lord, and I am placing every single one of them before you before I take a single step. Can you do that with me right now? Can you let your shoulders soften for just a moment and say, I am not walking into this week alone. I am not navigating this by the light of my own understanding. I am asking you to go before me. If you are ready to let God align your steps today, not your plan, but His, gently type, align my steps in the comments right now. Let that be your first declaration of faith this Monday. A small act, a meaningful one, because faith almost always begins with the willingness to say, I trust you more than I trust my own map. Before we pray, before we ask for anything, before we bring our needs and our fears and our hopes for this week to the Lord, I want to take a moment to do something that can be surprisingly difficult on a Monday morning. I want to give thanks, not because everything is perfect, not because the week ahead looks easy or the circumstances of your life feel settled and secure, but because gratitude has a way of shifting something in us before we even begin to ask. It softens the grip of anxiety. It reminds us of who we are talking to. It puts us in the right posture before we even open our mouths. So let's start here. You woke up this morning, and I know that sounds like a simple thing, almost too obvious to mention, but I want you to sit with it for just a second. There are people who went to sleep last night who did not wake up this morning. There are people who had plans for this Monday, goals they were working toward, conversations they were going to have, things they had been looking forward to. And they are not here to see this day. But you are. April 27th belongs to you. Not because you earned it, not because your goodness secured it, but because grace is not a transaction. It is a gift. And this morning, the breath moving in your lungs is the most concrete evidence that God is not done with you yet. That is worth something. That is worth pausing on before we rush past it. And beyond the breath, beyond the simple mercy of still being here, there is something else to be grateful for this morning. Something that requires a different kind of faith to thank God for, because it has not happened yet. I am talking about what is already waiting for you this week. The conversations that have not taken place yet, but that God has already positioned. The doors that have not opened yet, but that are already being prepared. The moments of favor that are coming toward you even right now, even as you sit here, that you have not yet seen because you have not yet arrived at the part of the week where they happen. Can you thank God for something you cannot yet see? That is one of the most powerful forms of prayer there is. Not just asking for what you need, but thanking Him for what He has already set in motion on your behalf. Because here is what I know about the God we are talking to this morning. He does not work on a reactive schedule. He is not scrambling to figure out your Monday. He has not been caught off guard by the challenges of this week. He saw April 27th before you were born. He prepared things for this specific day that your natural eyes have not yet discovered. And we can thank Him for that even now, even before we see a single one of them. I think about the times in my own life when I prayed desperately for something, and what came was not what I asked for. It was better. It was a different door than the one I was knocking on. A different answer than the one I had scripted. A different timeline than the one I had planned. And standing on the other side of that, looking back, the gratitude I felt was deeper than anything I had ever experienced in the moment of asking. Because I could see that he had been working the whole time, even in the silence, even in the redirection, even in the answer that looked like a no but was actually a not yet, or a not that way, or a not this, but watch what I do instead. So this morning, we give thanks for both. For what we can already see, and for what is still becoming visible, for the grace of this breath, and for the grace of this week that has not yet fully unfolded. Father, thank you for this Monday. Thank you for April 27th, a day you already saw, already prepared, already filled with purpose I have not yet discovered. Thank you that your plan for me today is better than anything I could have written on my own calendar. I receive this day as a gift, and I receive this week as a space where your plan can move forward in ways I could not have designed on my own. Thank you for working before I arrived. Thank you for going before me before I even prayed. I am grateful not just for what I see, but for what you have already set in motion that I have not yet seen. Amen. Now I want to pray something specific, something that is at the very center of why we are here together this morning. Not a general prayer for a good week, not just a prayer for protection or peace, as important as those things are. I want to pray something targeted and intentional because I believe you need it today more than you might even realize. I want to pray that your steps are aligned with God's plan. And I need to say something honest before we get into that, because I think it matters. Most of us begin our Mondays aligned with our own plan. And I am not saying that is a failure. Planning is good. Goals are good. Structure is good. There is nothing wrong with knowing what you need to accomplish this week, but there is a question underneath all of that planning that we rarely stop to ask. And the question is this: whose plan is this, really? Am I building toward what God called me to? Or am I building toward what I decided I wanted, and then asking God to bless it on the way out the door? Those are not always the same thing. I have heard it said that the difference between being busy and being guided is not the amount of effort involved. Both can look identical from the outside. The busy person and the guided person might be working the same hours, carrying the same load, moving at the same pace, but one of them is exhausted because they are pushing, and the other one is sustained because they are being led. And at the end of the week, one of them has accomplished a great deal of activity, and the other has accomplished exactly what they were supposed to. I want you to be the second person this week. I want you to step into this Monday, not just with a full schedule, but with the quiet confidence of someone whose direction has been confirmed. Someone who, before the first email was opened, before the first meeting began, before the first decision was made, stopped and said, "Lord, align my steps," not just my calendar, my steps. There is a picture I keep coming back to when I think about this. Imagine someone walking in a thick morning fog. They can see about 3 feet in front of them, maybe a little more, but beyond that, everything disappears into white. Now imagine that same person trying to navigate purely by memory. They think they remember where the path goes. They are pretty sure the turn is somewhere up ahead. They feel confident in their general sense of direction, but confidence in a fog without a guide is just stubbornness with good intentions. Now imagine they are not walking alone. Imagine someone walking just ahead of them, someone who knows every inch of the terrain, every turn, every hazard, every shortcut, every place the path narrows, and every place it opens wide. And that person is not rushing ahead, leaving them behind. They are staying close. They are speaking, not always in a loud voice, sometimes in a very quiet one. Come this way, not that direction. Wait here. Now move. That is what it looks like to walk with God through a week. He does not give you the whole map at once. He does not project every outcome onto a screen so you can evaluate all the variables before you take a step. He asks you to stay close enough to hear the next word. And if you are willing to walk that way, you will arrive at places you could not have navigated on your own. Father, I come before you this Monday morning with open hands. I release my agenda. I release the version of this week I have already written in my mind. I know I have plans, projects, conversations, goals I have been working toward. And Lord, I don't present them as burdens. I lay them before you as seeds, asking you to determine which ones you will water this week and which ones you will redirect. Align my steps today, not just my schedule, but my instincts. When I reach a crossroads and must choose between two paths that both seem reasonable, let your Spirit be the quiet but unmistakable voice that tilts me in the right direction. When I am about to walk into a room, a meeting, a conversation, let me walk in step with you, not ahead of you, not dragging behind. Lord, there are places I am planning to go today that perhaps you have not called me to. And there are places I am avoiding, phone calls I am delaying, conversations I am postponing, steps I am afraid to take that may be exactly where you are waiting for me. Give me the discernment to know the difference, not just the wisdom to recognize the open door, but the courage to walk through it when I see it, and the peace to leave the closed ones without forcing them open. Realign my priorities. If I have placed urgency above importance, shift my focus. If I have been investing energy into things that feel productive but are not fruitful in your kingdom, gently redirect me. I don't want to arrive at Friday exhausted from a week of activity that had nothing to do with your purpose. I choose today to hold every plan I have with open hands. I'm not abandoning my goals. I'm submitting them. There is a difference, and I trust you to honor the difference. Order my steps, Lord, every single one of them, beginning with the very next one I take. If you are choosing today to let God be the one who orders your steps, not your planner, not your inbox, not your fear, gently type "Order my steps, Lord" in the comments. Let's walk into this Monday surrendered and expectant. Now let's talk about the mind, because this is where it gets complicated for most of us. We can say all the right things. We can declare that our steps are aligned. We can open our hands and surrender the week, but then we close our eyes, and the mind does what it always does on a Monday morning. It starts running. Scenarios, calculations, worst-case projections, the memory of last week's failure, the anticipation of this week's challenges, the comparison to people who seem to be further along, moving faster, doing better. And within minutes, the peace that prayer opened up has been quietly crowded out by the noise inside our own heads. And here is the specific tension that sits underneath all of that noise, the tension that is unique to the prayer we are praying today. When you genuinely want to walk in God's plan, when you are sincerely trying to align your steps with His direction, one of the most disorienting experiences you can have is not knowing clearly what that direction is. It is not laziness or lack of faith that creates this confusion. It is the loudness of everything else competing for your attention. And in that loudness, discerning the voice of God can feel like trying to hear a whisper across a crowded room. I want to be honest with you about something I walked through. I remember sitting with what felt like 3 open doors at the same time, and on the surface, all 3 of them looked like they could be from God. They all seemed good. They all seemed aligned with my gifts, my values, my calling, and I prayed over all 3 of them, genuinely, repeatedly, and I did not get the obvious, unmistakable answer I was hoping for. No burning bush, no audible voice, no dream with a flashing neon sign. What I got, slowly, quietly, over several mornings of sitting in exactly this kind of prayer, was a settled sense, not a feeling of excitement or certainty about one specific option, but a deep, quiet peace that kept pulling me back to the same direction every time the noise died down. And what I learned from that is something I want to pass on to you this morning. Sometimes God does not answer the question, which option should I choose? Sometimes He answers a deeper question underneath it, which is Do you trust me enough to keep walking while I keep speaking? And it is in the staying close, in the daily returning, in the willingness to sit in the uncertainty and keep asking, that the clarity gradually begins to come. Not clarity about everything at once, clarity about the next step, just the next one. Your mind does not need to have the whole week figured out before the day begins. It needs to be oriented toward the right source, facing the right direction, quiet enough to hear the right voice. Father, I ask for a mind that is sharp enough to discern your voice above all others today. When I am overwhelmed by options, by opinions, by the constant noise of a world that always has something urgent to say, let your truth be the loudest thing in my spirit. Not the loudest in volume, but the deepest in authority. The one that carries weight when everything else is just movement and sound. Shield my thoughts from the confusion of comparison. When I look at what others are doing this week, where they are going, what they seem to be achieving, do not let that noise redirect my feet. My path is not their path. My favor is not their favor. My Monday does not have to look like anyone else's Monday. You did not design me to live someone else's calling. You designed me to live mine. And I need a mind clear enough to remember that when the world around me is doing everything it can to make me forget. Renew my mind today with clarity that comes not from having all the answers, but from trusting the one who holds them. When I do not know which step to take, remind me that you are not withholding direction out of cruelty. You are asking me to stay close enough to you to hear the next word, and I choose to stay close. I choose to keep asking. I choose to remain in the posture of someone who is listening, not someone who has given up, because the answer did not come immediately. Clear the fog from my thinking. Dissolve the knots of overthinking that have been tightening since last night. Let me not spend this Monday trying to solve Friday's problems. Give me the grace that is sufficient for today, just this hour, just this step. If your mind has been clouded this morning, overwhelmed, confused, or unsure of which direction to move, gently type "speak." Lord, I am listening in the comments below. Let this be the posture of your mind today. Not a mind that has all the answers. A mind that is turned toward the one who does. Now I want to go somewhere a little deeper with you, because what I am about to say might be the most honest thing I share in this entire prayer, and I want to say it gently, but I need to say it clearly. Sometimes the reason we struggle to align with God's plan is not that we cannot hear Him. It is that we have heard something and we are not sure we like what we heard. It is not confusion. It is resistance. Quiet, unspoken, sometimes unconscious resistance to the possibility that God's plan for this week might look different from the plan we have already fallen in love with. And I understand that. I understand it personally. When you have worked hard towards something, when you have invested time and effort and hope into a particular direction, when you have told people about your plans, when you have built your expectations around a specific outcome, letting go of that, even partially, even temporarily, feels like loss. It feels like failure. It can even feel like God is taking something from you when He asks you to hold it more loosely. But here is what I know to be true. And this is the thing I want your heart to receive this morning. God has never redirected someone towards something worse. He has never closed a door as an act of punishment or cruelty. When He moves something out of your hands, it is always because He has something better for those hands to hold. Always, even when it does not look that way in the moment, even when the redirection hurts, even when the new direction makes no sense yet. The person who walks most freely in God's plan is not someone who has no desires of their own. It is someone who has learned to hold their desires open-handed. Someone who can say, "This is what I want, Lord, and I am placing it in front of you. And if you want something different for me, I trust that your something different is better than my something same." That is not weakness. That is the most sophisticated form of faith I know. I think about how many times in my own life I have stood at the edge of something I thought I wanted, desperately, and God slowly, patiently, lovingly moved me to something else. And every single time, looking back, I can see what I could not see standing there at the edge. I can see what He was protecting me from. I can see what He was positioning me for. I can see that what felt like loss in the moment was actually preparation for something that fit me better than the thing I had been reaching for. He knows you. He knows what fits your life, your gifts, your calling, your season, better than you know it yourself. And the plan He has for this week is not in competition with your joy. It is the path to it. Father, I confess that sometimes my heart is tightly wrapped around my own vision. I have imagined how this week should look. I have hoped for specific outcomes, specific conversations, specific wins. I have already decided in some part of me what a good week would feel like, and today I lay every single one of those expectations before you, not with resignation, not with the kind of surrender that secretly hopes you will give it all back, but with genuine trust, real trust. The kind that says, even if this week looks nothing like what I planned, I believe you are still good. I believe your plan is still better, and I believe that at the end of this week, I will be able to look back and see your hand in every single turn, including the ones I did not want to make. Protect my emotional space today from the sting of disappointed expectations. When something I hoped for does not happen the way I planned, keep my heart from closing down in bitterness or self-pity. Give me the reflexive response of someone who trusts you deeply, someone who, when the unexpected happens, does not first ask what went wrong, but first asks, Lord, what are you doing here? Because something is always being done, even in the interruptions, even in the reversals, even in the silence. I release the people I was hoping to impress this week. I release the timeline I set for my own success. I release the quiet, exhausting fear that if I let go of control, everything will fall apart. You have never dropped anything you were holding, and today I am choosing to be something you are holding completely, without reservation. Soften the places in my heart that have hardened around my own agenda. Make me flexible enough to receive what you are bringing, even if it does not arrive in the packaging I expected. And let me trust deeply, fully, without performing that trust, but genuinely living in it, that your plan is not just tolerable, it is good. It is very good. If you are choosing today to release your own plans and trust God's plan, even when you cannot see it clearly, even when it costs you something to let go, gently type, I trust your plan, Lord, in the comments. Let your heart be open. Let this Monday be the day you stopped fighting for your version and started walking in His. Now I want to talk about what it takes to actually walk this out, because we can surrender our plans in prayer, we can open our hearts, we can align our minds, and then we step into the world and find that the world does not cooperate. That is when we need something more than good intentions. We need armor. I want to pray over your spirit this morning. Not just your emotions, not just your thoughts, but the deepest part of you. The part that carries the weight of your faith. The part that gets worn down, not by physical exhaustion alone, but by the slow accumulation of spiritual resistance. The part that knows, even when you cannot articulate it, that walking in God's plan is not a passive experience. It is active. It is a choice you make not once, but continuously, every hour, sometimes every minute. Here is the honest reality that I think we need to name before we pray. Choosing to align with God's plan does not make the week easier. In fact, sometimes it makes it harder in the short term, because the enemy is not neutral about your obedience. He is not indifferent to your alignment. When you decide to walk in the direction God has for you, there will be resistance. Not always dramatic, not always obvious. Sometimes it is very quiet. A whisper that says, "Who do you think you are?" a flicker of doubt about whether you heard God correctly, a sudden wave of comparison that makes someone else's path look better than yours, a fatigue that arrives early in the day and tries to convince you that surrender was a mistake, that you would be better off just going back to your own plan. That resistance is real, and you are going to encounter some version of it today. So before you walk out of this prayer into that reality, I want to make sure your spirit is clothed. Not in confidence built on your own track record, not in the borrowed courage of someone else's testimony, but in the armor that belongs to a child of God who knows whose they are and where they are going. The belt of truth first, because the first weapon the enemy uses when you are trying to walk in God's plan is confusion about identity. He will try to make you forget who you are. He will question whether you are really called, really equipped, really worthy of the favor you are expecting. And the answer to that is not a feeling, it is a truth. You are chosen, you are called, you are seen. That is not your assessment of yourself. That is God's assessment, and it does not change based on how well last week went or how ready you feel this morning. And the breastplate of righteousness. Not the righteousness you earned, because none of us earned it, but the righteousness that covers you because of what Christ already did. That breastplate protects the deepest convictions of your heart, your integrity, your sense of purpose, the quiet knowledge that you are trying to do the right thing, walk the right path, live the right way. The enemy will try to compromise that center. He will try to get you to cut corners, make deals with your own values, perform for the wrong audience. The breastplate says no, not today, not this week. My center holds. And the shoes of peace. This one matters especially for a Monday when you are walking into spaces that are full of friction. The office that is tense, the conversation that is overdue, the situation that has no clear resolution yet. Your feet need to carry peace into those spaces, not the peace that avoids difficulty, the peace that walks directly into it without being swallowed by it, the peace that can sit in a hard meeting and still be rooted, the peace that knows, whatever happens in this room, I am not alone in it. Father, dress my spirit in your armor today, not the armor of confidence built on my own resume or my own history of successes, but the armor that comes from knowing I am walking in a direction you have ordained. Let me move through this Monday as someone whose identity is settled, whose purpose is clear, and whose foundation does not shift when the ground gets rough. When doubt tries to use my own voice against me, the voice that says you are not qualified for this, you are not ready for this, the favor you are expecting is for someone else, let the belt of your truth silence it. Not with argument, but with authority. I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know that the plan you have for me today is not dependent on my perfection, but on your faithfulness. When the enemy tries to make me second-guess every step I take today, remind me that uncertainty about the path is not the same as being abandoned by the guide. You are still present, you are still ahead, you are still good, and being unsure of what comes next is not evidence that I chose wrong. It is simply the experience of walking by faith in a world that promises certainty and rarely delivers it. Empower my spirit to move forward even on the days when the favor is not yet visible. Help me to walk by faith and not by sight this Monday, because I have come to believe that the favor is always there, always being prepared, always moving toward me, even when I cannot see it yet. And I want to be the kind of person who keeps walking in that belief, not the kind who stops because the evidence has not arrived yet. Let me not be intimidated by this week. Let me not shrink back from the things you have called me into simply because they are bigger than my comfort zone. Empower me to rise up with quiet confidence, not arrogance, not performance, but the settled, unhurried confidence of a person who knows their shepherd is leading the way and has never once taken a wrong turn. If you are putting on God's armor today and choosing to walk forward in faith even when the path is not fully clear, gently type, "I walk by faith" in the comments. Your spirit is equipped. You are not walking into this week exposed. You are walking in covered, clothed, held, and nothing that comes your way today gets to reach the deepest part of you without first passing through the protection of the one who ordered your steps before you even opened your eyes this morning. Let's talk about your body for a moment. I know that might seem like an unexpected place to go in a prayer about aligning your steps with God's plan, but stay with me here because I think this matters more than we give it credit for. The plan God has for your life cannot be walked out by a body that is running on empty. The favor He is moving toward you this week cannot be received by someone who is too depleted to recognize it when it arrives. Your physical body is not separate from your spiritual journey. It is the instrument through which every single step you take actually happens. And if that instrument is worn down, running hot, moving at a pace that has nothing to do with God's rhythm, then even the most aligned spirit can have trouble moving the way it needs to move. And here is something I want to say gently but directly. Most of us walk into Monday already behind. Not behind on tasks necessarily, but behind on rest, behind on stillness. The weekend did some work, maybe, but it rarely does all the work that the previous week left undone. And so we start Monday morning carrying a physical weight that has been building quietly for longer than just 2 days. You feel it in your neck before you even check your phone. You feel it in the way a small inconvenience in the morning feels heavier than it should. You feel it in that particular tiredness that is not about sleep. It is about the accumulation of carrying too much for too long without stopping to be refilled. And God sees that. He is not standing at the beginning of this week with a clipboard of expectations, waiting to evaluate your performance. He is standing there with something much simpler and much more powerful. He is offering to be your source, not your encourager from a distance, your actual source, the one from whom the energy flows, not just the one you thank for the energy you already found somewhere else. Walking in step with God's plan today requires a body that is paced by something other than urgency. It requires the ability to slow down when He says slow down, to move quickly when He opens a door quickly, to rest when the path calls for rest without guilt, and to push forward when the moment requires it without the frantic, anxious energy of someone who is trying to force an outcome. That is a different kind of strength than the world offers. The world offers adrenaline. God offers sustaining. And there is a profound difference between the two. Father, I bring my physical body before you this morning. Every tired muscle, every shallow breath, every place where tension has settled in and made itself at home. You created this body. You know its limits far better than I do. And you know what this week will ask of it before I even begin. Breathe your life into me right now, not a temporary surge that burns out by noon. The quiet, steady, sustaining strength that comes from your spirit moving through my physical frame. Where I'm already weary before the day has started, renew me. Not with willpower, not with caffeine and forcing, with the kind of replenishment that only comes from being connected to the right source. Let my hands be ready for the work you have prepared. Let my feet move with the right pace today, not rushing ahead of you, not dragging reluctantly behind, moving in the rhythm of someone who knows their steps are being ordered, purposeful, unhurried, expectant. Let my body be an instrument tuned to your timing this week. Protect my energy, Lord. Guard it from being drained by things that are not my assignment. There will be demands on my attention today that are loud but not important. There will be invitations to spend myself on things that have nothing to do with the plan you have laid out for me. Give me the wisdom to recognize the difference and the peace to say no to what is not mine to carry. And teach me something I often forget, that rest is not the enemy of productivity. It is the foundation of it. That stepping away, breathing slowly, pausing in the middle of the day to reconnect with you is not wasted time. It is the very thing that makes everything else sustainable. Let me work from a place of rest this week, not rest from a place of total collapse. If you are asking God to sustain your body and align your physical energy with His purpose today, gently type "My body moves with His purpose" in the comments. Let your body be ready for everything He has planned. Now let's bring the actual work of this week before the Lord, because this is where it gets very real for most of us. The projects, the emails, the meetings, the financial pressures, the decisions that have been waiting for a resolution, the conversations that need to happen but have not happened yet, the work, the Monday morning pile of it. And I want to say something about work before we pray, because I think we carry a lot of quiet, unexamined beliefs into our workplaces that deserve to be looked at in the light before we walk in. Many of us believe, not consciously, not in a way we would say out loud, but in the way we feel on a Monday morning, that our worth is determined by what we produce today. That the number of things we cross off the list, the quality of the presentation, the response to the email, the result of the meeting, that these things tell us something fundamental about who we are. And when the work goes well, we feel valuable. When it goes poorly, something inside us shrinks. That is a heavy way to live, and it is also not true. Your worth was settled before you produced a single thing. It was established before you had a title, a salary, a credential, or a single item on a to-do list. You are not more valuable on your most productive days and less valuable on your slowest ones. You are simply, completely, permanently valuable because of who made you. And here is what changes when you actually believe that. When your worth is not on the line in your work, you can do your work better. You can take risks without the paralysis of "what will this mean about me if it fails?" You can be creative without the suffocating pressure of needing to be brilliant. You can collaborate without the defensiveness of someone whose identity depends on being right. You can work with excellence not to prove something but to express something. The gratitude of someone who has been trusted with a task. The joy of someone who is doing what they were made to do. And this is where the unexpected favor part of today's prayer becomes very concrete, because God's favor in your workplace this week is not going to look like things magically getting easier while you watch. It is going to look like divine wisdom arriving in the middle of a problem you could not solve on your own. It is going to look like an idea surfacing in a quiet moment that no amount of strategic thinking produced. It is going to look like a conversation that opens a door you did not knock on, a connection you did not engineer, an opportunity that does not come through your network, but through His. I have seen this happen, not once or twice, repeatedly, in my own work and in the stories of people who pray this way consistently. When you genuinely surrender your work to God, when you lay it before Him not as a formality, but as a real act of trust, things begin to move that your own effort alone could not move. Not because God rewards religious performance, but because He is actively working in the life of someone who is walking in alignment with His plan. Father, I bring every task, every project, every conversation, and every decision of this week before you. I lay my to-do list open before your eyes, and I ask you to mark the things that are truly mine to carry this week, and give me the peace to let go of the ones that are not. Pour your divine favor over my work today. Let my efforts be fruitful beyond what my skill alone can produce. Where I lack experience, let your wisdom compensate. Where I lack confidence, let the authority that comes from walking in your plan speak louder than my hesitation. Where I have been overthinking a decision for too long, grant me a clarity that is not born from analysis, but from trust. Open doors this week that I have not knocked on. Place the right people in my path, not because I networked strategically, but because you ordered our steps to cross at exactly the right moment. Let your plan for my work move forward this week. Even in the small things, even in the ordinary tasks that don't feel significant, because I believe that faithfulness in the small things is exactly how you build toward the bigger ones. And Lord, I release the exhausting pressure of tying my worth to my output today. My value was settled long before I opened my laptop or walked through the door of my workplace. I work today not to earn your approval, but from within it. And that changes everything about how I show up, how I engage, and how I respond when things do not go the way I planned. Let the work of my hands be fruitful, not just for my own success, but as a blessing to the people around me. Let my effort carry something more than productivity. Let it carry the quiet mark of someone who is working in alignment with a purpose larger than the task itself. If you are surrendering your work, your projects, and your career direction to God this morning, gently type "God's favor is on my work" in the comments. Let's expect the unexpected in our workplaces today. I want to take a moment now and lift up the people you love, because the plan God has for your life is not a solo plan. It is not a private arrangement between you and heaven that exists independently of your family and the people closest to you. The favor that is moving toward you this week is large enough to cover the people connected to you. And the steps you are walking in alignment with God's plan today, they create a path that others can walk on too. Your family feels the weight of Monday morning too. The people who share your home, who share your table, who share your life, they woke up today with their own invisible loads, their own uncertainties, their own quiet fears about the week ahead. And most of the time, in the rush and the noise of getting the week started, we do not have enough space to see each other clearly. We see the surface, the rushed goodbye, the short answer, the tension that nobody has time to address because everyone is already moving toward the door. But God sees all of it. He sees your spouse's quiet anxiety, your child's unspoken worry, the friend who has been carrying something alone for weeks and hasn't told anyone. He sees the strain in the relationship that has not been fully repaired yet. He sees the distance that has grown slowly, quietly, in ways that are hard to point to, but easy to feel. And his plan for this week includes all of them, not as a footnote, as a central part of what he is doing. Because you cannot walk fully into your own calling while the people closest to you are struggling in ways you could help with but aren't, because you are too focused on your own alignment to notice theirs. I want to release something in you right now, the burden of trying to fix everything for the people you love. That burden was never yours to carry. It is heavier than you were designed to hold. And the paradox is that trying to carry it usually makes you less helpful, not more. When you are stretched to your limit, trying to manage everyone else's outcomes, you have nothing left to offer. But when you release them into God's hands, when you genuinely trust Him with the details of their lives, the same way you are trusting Him with yours, something opens up. You can actually be present. You can actually see them. You can actually love them in the ways that matter, not the ways that are just management disguised as love. Father, I lift every person I love into your hands this Monday morning. You know where they are going today. The classrooms, the offices, the roads, the quiet rooms where they face their own invisible battles. Go before each of them the way you are going before me. Align their steps too. Let the same favor I'm expecting for myself extend over them. Open doors for them that I cannot open. Speak peace into the places in their lives that I cannot reach. Be the presence in their days that I cannot be, because I am not there, and because even when I am there are depths in them that only you can touch. Protect my home, Lord. Guard the atmosphere of the place where my people return at the end of the day. Let it be a place of rest, not just a location. A place where the pressure of the outside world is not allowed to take up permanent residence. Let the grace I carry from this quiet morning spill over into how I speak today, how I listen, how I choose to show up for the people who need me most. Let me be slower to frustration and quicker to patience. Let me be someone who brings the temperature of peace into the room rather than adding to the tension that is already there. And for the relationships that are strained right now, the ones carrying unresolved tension, the ones that need a conversation that neither side has started yet. I ask for your wisdom. Soften what has hardened. Clear up what has been misunderstood. Move in the timing that is not mine to control, but that I trust you to recognize. If you are trusting God's plan to cover your family this week, gently type "My family walks in His plan" in the comments. The favor God has for you is not for you alone. It covers everyone who belongs to you. Now, I want to stop here and pray something bold with you. And I want to acknowledge before we do that bold prayer can feel uncomfortable. It can feel presumptuous, like we are asking for too much, expecting too much, overreaching in a way that is not quite humble enough. And I understand that feeling. But I want to gently challenge it this morning because I think it is based on a misunderstanding of who God is and what He delights in. God is not stingy. He is not sitting in heaven rationing out blessing to the people who ask for just enough and not too much. He is described in Scripture as a Father who gives good gifts, who does exceedingly abundantly beyond what we ask or think, who withholds no good thing from those who walk uprightly. That is not the description of a God who is waiting for you to lower your expectations. That is the description of a God who is waiting for you to raise them. And so, this is the part of our prayer this morning where I want you to raise them, not recklessly, not in the name of entitlement or greed, but in the name of genuine, expectant, childlike faith. The kind that believes that the God who made the universe has not run out of ideas for your life. The kind that says, "I believe you are capable of more than what I have been asking for." I want to pray for unexpected favor. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I do not mean favor that you earned through hard work, though I believe God honors diligent effort. I do not mean favor that came through the right connections or the right timing that you engineered. I mean favor that bypasses the natural order of things. Favor that opens a door your resume did not qualify you for. Favor that places you in a conversation you did not arrange. Favor that brings provision from a direction you were not watching. Favor that accelerates what should have taken years and compresses it into a single week, a single day, a single moment. That kind of favor exists. It is not a fairy tale. It is not a prosperity gospel exaggeration. It is the testimony of people throughout history who chose to walk in alignment with God's plan and then watched Him do things that could only be explained by His involvement. And I want that for you this week. I believe it is already in motion. I believe that right now, even as you sit here, there are things God has already set in place for this week that you have not yet encountered. People who are going to cross your path who were not on your radar. Opportunities that are going to surface from directions you were not monitoring. Provision that is going to arrive in ways that make you stop and say, "That was not me. That was God." But here is the thing about unexpected favor that I want you to hold on to. It tends to come to people whose steps are aligned. Because alignment means you are in the right place at the right time, moving in the right direction. And when you are in the right place, favor does not have to chase you down. You walk right into it. Father, I come before you right now with open hands and an open heart, and I ask you, boldly, expectantly, humbly, for unexpected favor this week. I'm not asking for what my own effort can produce. I'm not asking for what my connections can unlock or what my resume can justify. I'm asking for the kind of favor that can only come from you, the kind that bypasses natural logic, the kind that opens rooms I was not invited into, that places me in conversations I did not engineer, that provides resources I did not see coming, that accelerates timelines I thought were years away. Lord, I believe you have already planted seeds of favor along the path I am walking this week. Help me to recognize them when they appear. Help me to say yes quickly to the right opportunities and to wait without anxiety when the timing is not yet right. Give me eyes that are trained to see your hand even when it arrives in ordinary packaging. I ask for unexpected favor in my finances, surprising provision, generosity from unexpected places, an opening for increase that does not come from my own strategy, but from your economy, which operates by completely different rules than the world's. I ask for unexpected favor in my relationships, a divine connection this week that I did not set up, that shifts something in the trajectory of my life. A conversation that opens into something I could not have planned. I ask for unexpected favor in my creativity, my problem solving, my ability to think clearly. Ideas and solutions that did not come from my own thinking, but were quietly deposited by your Spirit in a moment of stillness. And Lord, let this favor be so clearly from you that I cannot take the credit for it. Let it be the kind of thing that makes me stop and say, that was God. Let it be a testimony, not just for me, but for the people watching my life who are trying to decide if this kind of faith is worth having. Let the unexpected favor on my life point back to you, always, completely, without question. I receive it right now by faith. On this Monday morning, April 27th, I receive the unexpected favor you have prepared for this week. I receive it before I see it. I receive it before I can explain it. I receive it with gratitude, with expectation, and with the full confidence that you are a God who does what He says He will do. If you are believing for unexpected favor this week, favor that goes beyond your plan, beyond your network, beyond what seems possible right now, gently type, "I receive unexpected favor" in the comments. Stand on that declaration. God sees your faith. And faith, even the size of something very small, moves things in the unseen that change everything in the seen. I want to sit with you for a moment in the part of this week that you cannot see yet. Not the scheduled meetings, not the known challenges, the other part. The part that has no name yet because it has not happened. The phone call you do not know is coming. The news you have not received. The shift in a situation that has been stable, or the breakthrough in one that has been stuck, the unknown. And I want to be honest with you about the unknown, because I think we have a complicated relationship with it. On one hand, we know intellectually that we cannot control everything. We know that life is full of surprises, that plans change, that the unexpected is not the exception, but a regular part of the experience of being alive. We know all of that. And yet when Monday morning comes and we are looking at the week ahead, something in us still wants certainty, still wants to see around the corners, still feels a low hum of anxiety in the places the calendar has not yet filled in. Because it is one thing to trust God with the known parts of your week, the things that are already on the schedule, the challenges you have already named, the situations you have already been praying about. You have had time to surrender those. You have had time to build some faith around them, but the unknown parts, the ones that have not announced themselves yet, those require a different kind of trust. A trust that is not built on familiarity with the specific situation, but on the character of the one who holds it. And here is the truth that I want to anchor you in before we pray. The unknown parts of your week are not unknown to God. There is not a single moment of this week that is going to surprise Him. Not a single conversation, not a single piece of news, not a single turn in the road that He has not already seen. And not only has He seen it, He has already been present in it, working it, using it, preparing you for it, often through the very circumstances of the days leading up to it. The detour is sometimes the plan. The closed door is sometimes the protection. The delay is sometimes the preparation. And the thing that looks like a problem when it arrives is sometimes the exact mechanism through which unexpected favor enters your life. Because God is that creative and He is that faithful. Father, the unknown parts of this week are not unknown to you. You see every meeting I have not scheduled yet, every conversation that is going to find me when I am not expecting it, every twist in the road that lies between today and Friday. And so I choose, right now, to release the need to see around all of those corners before I take the next step. When an unexpected obstacle appears, something that disrupts the plan I thought was aligned with yours, keep me from immediately concluding that I heard you wrong. Remind me that sometimes the detour is the plan, sometimes the interruption is the invitation. Give me the patience to stay in the story long enough to see how it ends before I decide whether the chapter was a mistake. Shield my mind from the panic that wants to rise when things fall apart. Keep my spirit from spiraling into fear when the unexpected arrives. Let me be the kind of person who, when something surprises me, does not first react but first pauses, takes a breath and asks, "Lord, what are you doing here?" Because something is always being done, even in the chaos, even in the reversal, even in the moment that looks like a disaster. You are working, and I ask for your divine favor to go before me into every unknown space this week, into the rooms I don't know I will be entering, into the conversations that have not started yet, into the moments of silence where you may be speaking most clearly. Go before me into all of it and meet me there. If you are releasing the unknown parts of this week into God's hands and trusting His plan even in the uncertainty, gently type "God goes before me" in the comments. You do not walk into the unknown alone. You walk into it followed by grace and preceded by a God who has already been there. Before we close, I want to talk to you about something that I think we miss in most conversations about prayer and blessing. And it is this: the favor that has been poured into you this morning, the alignment, the peace, the expectation, the armor, the strength, the clarity. None of it was designed to stop with you. You are not a reservoir. You are a river. The grace that flows into you is meant to keep moving. The peace that has settled over your spirit in this quiet morning space was never intended to be a private possession. It was meant to be something you carry into every room you walk into today. Every conversation, every encounter, every moment where someone else is struggling with the exact weight you just laid down in prayer. Think about the people you are going to interact with today. Your co-workers, your clients, the person in the meeting who is about to say something that tests your patience. Your family members who have their own invisible loads. The stranger whose day is falling apart in a way you may never know. They did not have this morning. They did not sit in this quiet space. They did not pray these prayers or make these declarations. And they are walking into the same Monday you are walking into, but with less to draw from. You can change something for them today, not by preaching at them, not by telling them about your morning prayer or handing them a list of things they should believe, but just by being someone who carries a different atmosphere. By being the person in the room who is not adding to the anxiety, who is not matching the frustration, who is not being swept up in the reactive energy that passes through workplaces and homes like a contagion on a Monday morning. You can be the calm, not because you are better, but because you came from somewhere better this morning. You sat in the presence of the God who orders steps and gives unexpected favor and covers families and renews minds. And that does something to a person. It marks them in a way that doesn't require explanation. It just shows up. Father, I ask you to make me a vessel of your peace today. Let the alignment I have received this morning flow outward. Let the favor that is resting on my life be large enough to cast a shadow of grace over the people I encounter. Let my presence carry something. Not my personality or my positivity or my effort at being encouraging, but your actual spirit moving through someone who has been genuinely touched this morning. Give me eyes to see the people around me the way you see them today. When I encounter someone who is difficult or demanding or short with me, give me the discernment to see past the surface to what is actually happening underneath. Because most people who are hard to deal with are hard to deal with because something hard is happening to them. And the most powerful response is not to match their energy. It is to offer them something different, something they were not expecting. Grace, when they anticipated friction. Patience, when they assumed impatience. A kind word in the exact moment where everything else in their day has been unkind. I lift up every person who prayed with me this morning. Every soul at Daily Grace and Blessings who started this Monday in this quiet space. We all came with different circumstances, different pressures, different families, different workplaces, different fears. But we all sat under the same grace. We all prayed to the same God. And we are all stepping into this Monday now with the same alignment, the same expectation, the same favor resting on our lives. And for anyone listening who has been waiting a long time for their breakthrough, anyone who came into this prayer tired and barely holding on, anyone who needed to hear something today that would give them just enough to keep going, let your strength be doubled in them right now. Let them feel the weight lifting. Let them know without a shadow of a doubt that they are seen, they are covered, and the plan you have for them is still moving forward, even in the waiting, even in the silence, even on this ordinary Monday morning. If you are standing with this community in faith today, trusting God's plan together and expecting His unexpected favor together, gently type "We walk in His favor together" in the comments. You are not doing this alone. None of us are. And we are stronger in this, all of us moving forward under the same covering than any one of us could ever be alone. We are reaching the end of our time together this morning. And before I let you go, I want to say something to you that I mean completely. You are not the same person who pressed play on this video. You came in carrying something. Maybe it was anxiety about the week. Maybe it was a quiet confusion about direction. Maybe it was the low hum of hoping that this week might be different without quite believing it would be. Maybe you came in tired or discouraged or carrying the leftover weight of last week that the weekend did not fully wash away. And you sat here. You stayed. You prayed through every section of this, through the alignment and the surrender and the armor and the favor and the unknown. You made declarations in the comments or quietly in your heart that carried more weight than you might realize. Because faith declared, even quietly, even with uncertainty still present, is still faith, and God honors it. Here is what I need you to carry out of this space today. Your steps are ordered. That is not a feeling. It is a fact, established this morning in prayer, confirmed by the Spirit that has been moving through this time together. Your steps are ordered. And that means the meeting you are about to walk into, the decision that is waiting for you, the conversation you are not sure how to have, none of it is happening outside of God's awareness. None of it is beyond His reach. None of it can outrun the plan He has already set in motion for your life. You do not have to force anything today. You do not have to manufacture outcomes or push doors that are not yours to open or perform for the favor you have already received in prayer. You can walk with your hands open. You can move through this day with the quiet, unshakable confidence of someone who knows they are not navigating alone. When Wednesday feels heavy, come back to this morning. When Friday's exhaustion shows up early, remember what you declared today. Remember that you sat here on April 27th and told God you trusted Him, that you released your agenda, that you received unexpected favor by faith before you could see it, and that the same God who heard every word of this prayer is going to be faithful to every single one of them on His timeline, in His way, better than you planned. His grace is not a limited resource, it is renewed every morning. And the favor you walked into today is not a one-time deposit. It is the beginning of something He intends to keep building in your life, one aligned step at a time. And now I want to ask you to do one final thing before you walk out into this Monday. If this prayer has moved something in you this morning, if it has brought clarity to a confused mind, or peace to an anxious heart, or courage to a spirit that was shrinking back, share it. Send it to someone who needs it today, a friend who is struggling with direction, a family member who woke up this morning feeling unequipped and alone, someone who has not yet found a space like this for their Monday. Let's extend what happened in this prayer room this morning as far as it can possibly reach, because the favor is big enough, the grace is wide enough, and there is no shortage of people who need to hear that their steps can be ordered and their favor has been declared. If you are stepping into this Monday with aligned steps, an open heart, and the bold expectation of unexpected favor, type one final bold amen in the comments. Claim your week. It is already blessed. The doors are already being prepared. The favor is already in motion. And the God who ordered your steps this morning will be faithful to guide every single one of them. Go now, dear friend. Your steps are ordered. Your favor is released. Your God goes before you. God bless you today. Amen.